Yes, and you might have guessed from the title for this one, I've not done a full vlog this week. Reason being, I've just been a bit under the weather this week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of, yeah, pretty below par, kind of like not a major stomach ache, but like, yeah, gut ache kind of thing, mild gut ache, and just generally didn't feel that energetic, so I decided I was going to work. Didn't really want to take the time off. It wasn't really that bad, but didn't really have the time to, or the energy to film every day kind of thing. Yeah, so I thought I'd just do a quick summary of the week, just some highlights, and give my numbers and fuel price and stuff. So fuel price, well, the week that's been has been the week commencing Monday 21st of June 2021, not 2020 like I said last week. So yeah, fuel prices, the UK Fuels, which is the Shell card I get through them, not their own network one, is 103.94 plus the VAT, as I say. And the BWOC or block, which is their card, which is called Control 4 Diesel or C4D, which uses the Key Fuels network, that was 104.44, so that's like half a p more expensive than the Shell one for UK Fuels. So I've used the Shell UK Fuels one this week, filled up in Shell earlier in the week, but I can also use any Shell, any Esso, so I've just filled up in Esso, any Texaco, any Gulf. I think there's some supermarkets on there, but I never use supermarket fuel anyway. So with the VAT, that's 124.73, which is still, you know, pretty good saving. I did have the block guy phone me, I think it was yesterday. Spoke to him hands free, I was on the job. Yeah, and basically saying he'd seen that I'd gone back to using it. So last time he rang me was a few months ago when Shell were cheaper at that time. Then they became cheaper, so I started using it. And then last week I didn't use it, so he's just asking why didn't I use it last week, or inquiring, not like in a polite way. And he just says, yeah, you've gone expensive. You've been undercut because they've gone up quite a bit the last few weeks, whereas the Shell bit one came down. But if I keep using the Shell one, I know it's just going to start going up because that's what UK Fuels do. Kind of play them off against each other. I reckon you need at least two, just so you can play them off against each other, maybe three. I would like to get an actual UK Fuels network one, but not through UK Fuels because I'm already with UK Fuels for the Shell one, but through another supplier. If anyone can recommend a good supplier who's got a car that uses the UK Fuels network, please recommend it to me. Yeah, so that's the fuel prices. Yeah, highlights of the week. I've not really missed out much like nice places I've gone to. I haven't really gone to anywhere that interesting. Like last week it was Milford Haven, Plymouth, and quite nice areas to film and that. Nothing really spectacular this week. I think I've been up the northwest a few times. Been down to London area, which I kind of regretted. Had a bit of a nightmare job in London, where the app said I was 25 minutes from pickup, so I actually put 30 minutes to ETA. It turned out to be more like 50 minutes, and I had the shipper on the thing saying where I am. I just had to say sorry, but traffic's getting worse. I was picking up North London, dropping off South London, Sevenoaks. Well, it's not really London, that is it? It's Kent, but you know what I mean. And I fell foul of that junction on the M25 again, where it's just misleading. It says stay on M25, but you don't. You go straight on. It turns into the A20 something, going towards, well, South Coast. And I fluffed up that junction again, even though I knew it was going to be. I was like, which way do I go? Like getting up to it, and I'm a mile ahead, but I still took the wrong split at the fork because it's like a fork. So I had to go down to put another 20 miles on a job, but I did actually get there and get this tip done get there before 6, and I got there like 5 to 6, so the guy was there still, so that wasn't all good in the end, but a bit of a stressful job. And at the time, I think that was Tuesday or something, and I was still under the weather and stuff, and yeah, could have done without it really. Other than that, been up north today, Friday. Got a job straight back to the West Midlands, close to home. On the way back, I decided I'll stop off quickly at the services coming into Birmingham from the north down the M6. God, I keep forgetting what it's called. This services. I'll put it on my screen. Hilton, is it? Something like that? I don't know. Could be Hilton Park Services, I think. I just pulled in there, quickly go in, use the toilet. I thought, jump out the van. All I can hear is a hissing noise. Psst. I thought, what the hell's that? Front wheel, obviously punctured. So I'm guessing I might have actually done it in the services because it lost its air within a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and it's totally flat. So I either did it on the M6 or actually in the services. So I just had to phone the shipper and say I was due to get there about 2 o'clock. Phone the shipper and she says, yeah, actually that job, as long as it's there by 4 o'clock, that's fine. So it doesn't really matter. So I changed the tyre out, wheel over. And because she said that, I had my lunch and I got the tip done about 3 o'clock. Oldbury, about 5 miles from home. Yeah, and I was kind of bit behind schedule money this week, partly because I just not got the rubber to green, and partly because early in the week I was being a bit more fussy because I didn't feel particularly energetic. I think I spent a lot of time just sat in laybys, just kind of looking for kind of like an idealist job, just because I wasn't really feeling it. Yeah, so I've been behind schedule. I've not hit schedule this week, and it was very unlikely I was gonna, even if I tipped like close to home at 2 o'clock, like mid-afternoon, I probably wouldn't have made schedule anyway. But with that puncture, I thought, stuff it, that's it for a week. I'll get this wheel change, go and do the tip. I've been straight from there to get the puncture repair done. Luckily, I think must have been a screw or something that's gone into the tyre and come straight out. And it was in sort of like the middle bit of the tyre, because I know if it's towards the edge of the tyre they can't do it, but it was wasn't in the middle bang on, but it was kind of like in a bit of the tread. Yeah, and it fixed it, no trouble. So I just did the last tip, googled tyre places. I wanted to go to like a local independent one rather than, Quick Fit or National or something like that, because you're going to play for the nose with them. I thought if you go to one of them, it's going to be at least 20, maybe 25 quid, possibly plus the VAT. And I prefer to use like localish ones where I can. And yeah, I was quite shocked when he says a tenner. As for puncture repair and I rebalance it, that's pretty good, really. So I didn't even bother using the company card, my business account card for that one, and take the receipt. I just just paid off my normal card. I should have had cash really, so I could have given cash, but didn't expect him to be that cheap. Yeah, so that's it for the week. Just in Morrison's car park now. Go and get me shopping for the weekend. I worked out I've done, between this van, which is on 24,000 miles, I think I did 47,000 in the old van, so that's 71,000 miles, which is like 95% of that is work use, 5% sort of personal use. That's the first puncture I've had, so it's part of it, isn't it? It's, if you do this doing 60-70,000 miles a year quite easily, you're going to get punctures, you're going to have possibly breakdowns, you're going to see accidents, hopefully not being any. I've seen obviously plenty of aftermath of accidents in the year and a bit I've been doing it. Getting on for a year and a half now. I did actually last summer see a really bad accident, but I don't think anyone was badly injured. Mentioned at the time, M5 coming north, some guy fluffed the turn off for one of the services and crashed into the barrier and flipped this like drop side flatbed transit onto its roof and skidded down the thing. And I actually saw that happen because I was like 2 cars behind it, close enough for all the stuff that flew into the air to bounce off my van and make a right racket. I didn't stop on that one because I'd already saw what happened. I'd actually passed the exit to the services, and some other people were pulling over, and obviously lots of people in the services. And I did go past the next day or later that week, and there was no sign about dodgy accident. Any witnesses or anything like that, so I presume no one was injured. There was nothing in the news, so I did check. yeah, I mean, like, you're just going to see stuff. You're going to have punctures. It does bring to it, driving, being in transport is actually quite a dodgy, risky profession. It's one of the riskiest up there. Not like being a trawler fisherman or anything like that, but yeah, that's it anyway. So that is kind of highlights and lowlights of the week. I will work out my numbers and then I'll do the usual summary later in the weekend, either tomorrow or Sunday. Right, Sunday afternoon now. Just going to do a quick summary like I normally do. So yeah, 5 days on the run. I'm going to spend 2 nights at home this week, so the Monday night and the Thursday night. Really glad to spend the Monday night at home. Like I say, I wasn't feeling great that time of the week. Didn't use any hotels or anything. In terms of other non-normal costs, to think of a better word for that, I did do a few tolls this week. So I did the Merseyflow twice, which is £2, and then I did the Dartford crossing south and north. I did each of them once, so that's another about £5.50, I think. So I call it a tenner additional costs over my normal costs. So yeah, the Monday 2 jobs, 90 and 145, which is £235. Tuesday 93 and 147, which is £240. So them 2 days I did over target. I'm still kind of targeting 220 a day, or 1100 a week. So slightly ahead of schedule by the end of Tuesday. And then Wednesday I did 2 jobs, 135 and 55, which is 190. That's obviously below target. Thursday 135 and 40, which was 175 for the day. And then the Friday I did 85 and 80, which is 165 for the day. But I was due to kind of like tip that last job at 2 o'clock before I got the puncture. So in a way, Friday wasn't really a full day because I didn't start until the first pickup was 9, so I left for half an hour to get there. So say I started about 8:15. Actually left the house, head over there, and I finished the last tip at 3. So Friday wasn't really a full day because of that puncture. But anyway, if it counts a full day, total £1,005 for a week, which counting it as 5 full days is £201 a day, obviously. Mileage wise, 1,133 miles, which and obviously £10 tolls come off as well. So, well, yeah, don't really think about that anyway. So that's afterwards costs. So 88.7 pence a mile that is. So that's all right. Met my minimum target. Early part of the week I wasn't doing great, pence per mile, slightly over target. But the 2 jobs I did on Friday, I actually got quite good money for them. One was 61 miles, got £80 for it, and one was 65 and I got £85 for it. So yeah, and then I started at home and finished really close to home. That was a Friday. So taking out my normal costs, fixed costs £20 a day, 30 pence a mile running costs, variable costs, about half of that is fuel. And then it's, like I said before, fuel's the main part of it. It's about 16 pence a mile at the moment. Depreciation on the van is 7 pence a mile. That's just the cost to replace the van, and then nothing to do with maintenance, and the rest of it is like maintenance and tyres and all that kind of jazz. I budget for that. £10 of them extra non-normal costs, which is them tolls I mentioned. So basically, that comes to a pre-tax profit, if you like, a wage of 635 a day. So it's not quite as good. It's kind of aiming more for 700 a week, but then I did spend 2 nights at home. So not a bad week all in all. Considering I felt the early part of the week, it's actually a very successful week because I could have easily just sacked it off Monday, Tuesday. So I did actually go to work and earn some money, even if over the week it's taken to slightly below target. So it's kind of more of a win than a loss. That's the way I'm looking at it. Yeah, still looking for recommendations for a fuel card that uses a UK Fuels network, but not UK Fuels, because I get my shell card for UK Fuels. We'll need to try and use a different provider. So if anyone has a fuel card that uses the UK Fuels network and you think it's worth, you like it, and you're happy to recommend it, please do so below for me and others. Also asked last week, Airbnb. Has anyone ever tried Airbnb for rooms accommodation in the evenings? In some ways, I need more of a room in the summer and the hot weeks, because I need a shower more in the hot week when it's hot. Whereas in the winter, it's cold, put the heater on at night, you kind of stay fresher through the week. But no, it's been a bit, I haven't quite been so good the last 2 weeks like before. It was like getting a bit pretty hot. So that's it. Planning a normal week next week, so I haven't got anything booked in for tomorrow morning yet, Monday morning. Planning the full 5 days, feeling myself now pretty much back to normal, so I will plan to do at least a proper week in life next week. But anyway, thanks for watching.